What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another Tottenham update. Just a bit of a short one to bring to you today, but just before we do, please go and visit our website, WeAreTottenhamTV.co.uk, for your latest Tottenham articles. But let's get straight into it. We are welcoming Sim back to the channel today, seeing as he's been living the life in LA while we're all slogging out here in London. But let's get into the news today, and we're going to talk about a player called Kerem Akturcoglu of Galatasaray. Milliyet, which is a Turkish publication, say that Spurs scouts will be in attendance to watch winger Kerem Akturcoglu in action for Galatasaray against Besiktas, along with Champions League tie against Bayern Munich on Tuesday. After doing a bit of research onto this guy, he is a left winger, a right-footed left winger, and also has a fairly good goal return this season, scoring 2 goals in 2 games in the Champions League this season, 3 goals and 4 assists in 9 games in the Turkish league this season. And last year, or a couple of years back, he got 4 assists and 3 goals in 12 games in the Europa League. So definitely a guy who knows how to provide a goal contribution. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I remember watching him against Man United when Galatasaray won at Old Trafford a few weeks ago, and he was definitely impressive in that game. I can't say I've seen too much of him in the Turkish league, but I can definitely comment on what I saw in the Champions League, and he definitely seems a player with a lot of high quality, and a player who a lot of people are taking notice of at the moment. And he was giving Man United a lot of problems when he was playing against them. So I'm glad that Tottenham are maybe looking at that kind of market and maybe seeing if there's any value. Whether he's a player who comes slot straight in on left wing, I don't necessarily know that for sure at the moment, but he definitely seems like an exciting player to I wouldn't call him a prospect, he is 25, but definitely seems like an exciting player to look at.
Yeah. Would you be in favour of us going for someone like that at left wing, or would you like to see us set our sights a bit higher than that? I mean, what would your opinion be? Or do you even think we need a left winger?
I think we probably do, considering with Son's now central, our left winger options are Solomon, Richarlison, maybe Brennan. I don't think we're desperate for it, but I think definitely I look at all those options. I'm not entirely like loving all those options as a perfect a player to play on the left wing. So I definitely think if we can get an upgrade in that position, it'll be worth it. I can't speak to whether we should be setting our sights high. He seems like a good player, and he seems to be doing well in the Champions League. So I don't think that's anything to be sniffed at. But I guess we'll see what the scouting comes back with.
Yeah. All right, let's move on and let's talk about another player who Spurs are scouting at the moment, and he goes by the name of Javi Guerra of Valencia. 90 Men report that Tottenham, Arsenal, Newcastle and West Ham are all among the clubs that have watched Valencia's midfielder Javi Guerra in recent weeks. He's having a bit of a breakout season this year for Valencia. He's played 9 games, got 3 goals and 1 assist from central midfield this season. 20 years of age and a Spanish under-21 international. It is an interesting one, but I mean, we don't have too much success with bringing up young players over from Spain.
Yeah, but that doesn't really bother me. You know, look at the young players that we have right now in the team doing well. And if this is another young player we've identified as one who could slot into the team and can play the way that we want to play and Ange wants to play, I'm all for it. As you say, 20 years of age, he seems to be adding goal contributions to his game. He seems to be quite a good technical midfielder as well. I'm all for adding quality to the central midfield area, albeit, again, I would say that's probably the least of our kind of priorities right now. Bentancur's coming back. We've got Sarr playing well there now. We've still got Skip and Højbjerg as options at the moment. So I'm not desperate for it, but if that's one down the line where we're looking at him and thinking if we can get ahead of the chasing pack and get a good deal, and it could be a good young player to see the future for the future of Tottenham, then I think it's very exciting, and our record with young players recently is very, very strong. So I'm all for it.
And last but not least, let's talk about big Ange Postecoglou, who could be setting a new record in the Premier League on Monday night. And a win over Fulham would ensure that Ange Postecoglou sets a record of 23 points earned from his first 9 Premier League fixtures in charge, which will surpass Mike Walker and Gus Hiddink in terms of when they first came to the Premier League. And I think Mike Walker was for Everton, Gus Hiddink was obviously for Chelsea. And if he does win, no manager would have got more in their first 9 games in terms of points than Ange Postecoglou.
What a man. And he's doing exceptionally well. Let's hope that we get the job done on Monday night. I think at the moment it's important for Spurs fans to keep their feet on the ground a bit, just to take it game by game and not start kind of expecting this form to continue for the majority of the season. But I think that goes that kind of stat goes to show how incredible he's started life at Tottenham and how hard it is to get those kind of results so early on, considering no manager's ever done it. So he's doing extremely well. The way we're playing, how he's conducting himself, couldn't have gone better. And if he breaks that record, I think that's evidence of that.
I think it goes to show as well, because I was listening to Martin Keown on Talk Sport a week or so ago, and he was saying that what Ange Postecoglou is doing with Tottenham right now, he draws a lot of similarities to what Arsene Wenger did in the first 9 weeks or first 10 weeks of what he did with coming into Arsenal. Changed up the philosophy completely, taking over from George Graham, breathed new life into the team, started bringing in a lot of young players as well to match his philosophy. I mean, can you see where he's going with that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very different game. I feel like a very different landscape to when Wenger took over. But I understand what he's saying, the similarities and the kind of revolutionary way of playing that he's brought over. I don't think Postecoglou's way is as revolutionary to the Premier League as Wenger's was when he came, but it's maybe it's revolutionary to Tottenham. I'd agree with it. I agree with him on that front. So, apart from how it's done for the specific clubs, I think Wenger came in and literally revolutionised the whole game in England. It wasn't just revolutionised it for Arsenal. It made everyone think differently about how football's played and what how players conduct themselves and things in England. So there is a bit different, in my opinion. But I think Postecoglou is the way he's even found a different way of playing, considering that we're in 2023 and there's so much data and analysis about how teams play and how they set up, and he's even come and switched that up. It's even harder to do, I would say, now than it was back then. But I think that's where the similarities end a bit, in my opinion.
I think as what he was mainly alluding to was giving the club a facelift, a manager which not many people really knew about. He also he joined from the Japanese league, Arsene Wenger, and when he did join Arsenal, a lot of Arsenal fans were like, well, who is this guy? Why are we hiring him? A bit of a similar like Postecoglou, and the kind of good results that automatically came like straight away, like hit the ground running big time, and basically just giving the clubs facelifts in such a short time.
Yeah, I mean, look, Postecoglou's not the first manager to ever do it, but he's doing a fantastic job. And he's if it's only 8 games, like I want to see where we are after 15, 20 games halfway through the season and see once we've played everyone where we're kind of standing. But as things stand at the moment, it couldn't be going much better than it is at the moment. I can't complain.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that is your Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts regarding all the news stories we've brought to you today. Check out our brand new website, WeAreTottenhamTV.co.uk, and like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.